Muslims believe that the Quran was revealed to Muhammad by the angel Gabriel, but many of Muhammad's contemporaries were convinced that he was copying earlier stories, some of which were fables. In Surah 18, we read about the sleepers of the cave, a group of people who supposedly went to sleep in a cave and woke up 300 years later. They treated the story as a fable, but now it's in the Quran, and more than 1 billion people believe that it really happened. According to Surah 19, Jesus began preaching as soon as he came out of Mary's womb. This story comes from the 6th century Arabic infancy gospel. One of the most conspicuous legends in the Quran is the story of Dhul Qarnayn. In Surah 18, Allah says that Dhul Qarnayn traveled west and found the place where the sun sets, traveled east and found the place where the sun rises. We know where this story comes from. It comes from what's called the Alexander Romance collections. Musa Sarantonio, for instance, was an ISIS recruiter. He read the legends about Alexander the Great, and he noticed the parallels with Dhul Qarnayn in the Quran. Instantly left me with only one possible conclusion. The Quran was not divinely inspired. So, some Muslims react to legends in the Quran by concluding that the Quran is not from God. But other Muslims have a different reaction.
It's like if we say to you, remember how this Hulk guy was, when he was a human, he went around shopping for stretchable underwear, and knowing obviously he'll need that when the moment occurs. So then somebody who doesn't know what we're talking about will think we're referring to actual persons, but you know that we're referring to a person in a movie or in a Marvel Comics description. In a similar way, when the Quran is talking about Jesus in a particular way, it could be something based on history, it could be something based on the previous literature. It's calling the attention of the people to the story and drawing out the Quranic lessons.
Muhammad Asad held a similar view of the legends we find in the Quran. It should always be remembered that all Quranic references to historical or legendary events are invariably meant to elucidate a particular lesson in ethics. What I find most interesting when Muslim scholars admit that the Quran is filled with myths, fables, and legends is that this is exactly what the people around Muhammad said, even according to the Quran. Surah 25, verses 4 to 5. Those who disbelieve say, "This is naught but a lie that he hath invented, and other folk have helped him with it, so that they have produced a slander and a lie. And they say, fables of the men of old, which he hath had written down, so that they are dictated to him morn and evening." So, when Muhammad delivered his revelations about the sleepers of the cave or about Dhul Qarnayn, the people around him kept saying, "We've heard these stories before. We know where these stories come from. These are fables. They're fairy tales. They're bedtime stories." And Muslim scholars are finally starting to agree.